Hello, this is Shannise and I'm back. Today we're going to be talking about the 4 major elements of a story. So when you think of storytelling, of course there are some major elements that make up a story: character, setting, conflict, and resolution. I am the author and also the illustrator. The wonderful thing about being the illustrator and the author of a story is you really get to get your hands in there and work with all elements of a narrative, of telling a story, and that's very key and important. One of the things I found very true and very necessary is that in teaching children about analyzing and critically looking at the framework and structure of a story is that they need to actually create their own stories. And in creating their own stories and going through this whole process of building in all of these elements of what make up a story, I think they have a better understanding of what to look for and what to identify when they're reading. I started working on Jerome. Jerome's character was created out of a variety of experiences that I had had. One of those experiences was this experience I had with the hawk. And it was really life-changing in a way. I remember one day I was getting into my car and it was very early in the morning, and this hawk swooped over my head, literally inches from my head, and I could feel the vibrations from his wings, and his wingspan was enormous to me. And I remember crouching, low, as I could see the shadow hovering over me, and it was indeed a hawk. I remember looking up and seeing the inside of his wings, and it was, a tan, white, and brownish color. And it was, at the time, it was a frightening experience because it was so close and it's such a large bird. I just knew that it was going to attack me. But what I came to learn about hawks are that hawks are very purposeful birds, meaning they do things purposely. They do things in a specific manner. I knew that a hawk had to be in the story. Now Jerome, I discovered Jerome before I had this encounter with the hawk. And I discovered Jerome just thinking about chickens. And we don't always marvel over chickens. Chickens are something that we actually, some of us, use in our diet on a daily basis. We use their eggs, we use their meat for for sustenance. We use the chicken. The chicken is definitely a bird that is consumed by humans on a large scale. And so it would appear that they are dispensable, that they're not really that important. They're not the type of bird that we try to preserve. So this bird would appear to be irrelevant, not important, because there's so many of them. Well, Jerome is a chicken, and he's a young chicken about to come into, adulthood and come into maturity. And so Jerome is really rethinking this whole idea of who he's supposed to be. He doesn't want to be dispensable. He doesn't want to be just another chicken. He wants to stand out and he wants to be special. And we find that a lot in real life, even I have. And there's some things in life that we've all wanted to, there's some things that we wanted to accomplish. There's some things that we wanted to do, and they seem just so out of our reach. And Jerome goes through that experience. He wants to fly like a hawk. And that's where the hawk comes in. I had to find something for Jerome to reach for. And that was the center of the conflict. So we talked about character. And now when you think about your character and you think about the desire of your character, Jerome desires to stand out. He desires to be different than other chickens. So when you have your character and you come up with, or you identify a desire, something that this character wants, then you're on your road to creating a conflict. And out of that desire, you build a lot of other things. By nature, because Jerome is a chicken, the setting, it just was natural that the setting would be a farm. And so in creating your character, it really allows you to also develop the other elements of the story.